Okay, continuing on with the tacks. We've just had a look at our head and arm strangle. Okay, but now we're going to see if for whatever reason we're not quite able to gain the positional control that's required to finish that choke, how we'd be looking to switch off to different positions. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is taking the back from a very similar starting position to how we'd initiate the head and arm, but there's a key factor and I'll show you now. Okay, so again, Rachel's down, bottom out. Just move this way. That's it. Okay, so what can happen here is that as we get the arm elevated, I'll turn just a little bit, yeah, this is a good angle. Okay, as we get to here, what can happen is, one, we're maybe not able to close out enough space here between the head and arm, particularly in this space here, sort of pinning the humerus to the side of the head. Okay, and that space allows her to have better control of her forearm. Because a good early phase defense, now it's more of a stalling tactic, okay, but something that can limit my ability to do the head and arm strangle, is that I can't get the forearm here around my head, okay, because as we see it, we require this position, okay? So if we can't pummel our head around, and usually why that's the case is because they're gripping their hands together. I'm not sure if you can see behind my head, Rachel's hand are gripped together. And if the person's stubborn, even with a good shoulder drive here, I might not be able to break that grip and force the forearm to pummel around the head, okay? So don't get me wrong, staying in this position is not pleasant for your partner, and their grip strength is going to deplete over time. So it is an option entirely to just stay here and just keep like driving the shoulder in heavy until that grip breaks and this comes about, okay? But if you find that your grip's also suffering, you're running out of energy, if we're talking competition, you might be running out of time, okay? But the grip's there, sorry, you sure up? All right, the grip's there, we may need to switch off, okay? So here I'm gonna relinquish what was previously my cross-face grip here, cross-face underhook, okay? And the underhooking side switches and almost becomes a cross-face with an underhook involved, okay? So I'll elevate here, drive this arm deep, okay, and here, if we turn it just a little bit, so you can see, I'm cupping the far side of the neck here. Okay, so I've got this sort of claw grip on here. Now I give the same shoulder drive that I was looking to previously to bring the forearm down, but it's gonna be much stronger now because this arm's connected to the neck. So as I drive my shoulder forward, my head shifts across the center line, it'll even break their grip, okay? This is very strong, forces the shoulder into a horrible position. From here, now I could pummel my head back, but my arms are in poor positioning. I don't have the control of the shoulder line like I did before to secure the head and arm. So we're better off taking the back here, okay? So we use this positioning of the arm to grab it, lift our chest momentarily, drag the tricep under, and re-wedge the shoulder into position. Now this arm is completely stuck, okay? The only way it can come out and around is up here, but I've got this free hand to kind of block that space. And now that my chest is on the tricep, the arm's only really free from the elbow down, and I can overpower that quite easily. So I drive here until I can pass the wrist off to the hand that's around the neck. Okay, and we call this the gift wrap. All right, we can do this, we can secure this even further by taking our free hand and pummeling it under for a figure 4 grip to have a figure 4 head and arm control here, okay? Which is very strong. From this head and arm position, the figure 4 control, we start to walk our knee up under the head and really lift and elevate the head up onto the thigh, pulling it up this ramp, okay? Now, here's where people make a fatal mistake. They try and take the back and fall back here and bring this hook in. And as that happens, Rachel can turn into me and I end up in gut, okay? So, from this position where we have the figure 4 head and arm, and our knee comes and slides under here, we simply just sit back to our butt here, okay? I'm kind of 50-50 on each butt cheek at the moment. But this leg is technically already in the hook position if I was to take the back. So what I need to do is a motion that will secure this is the bottom hook, not the top side hook. Just scoot around this way a little bit. Yeah, there, okay? Just so people can see. All right, so I'm 50-50 on each butt cheek, maybe a little bit more on the right, okay? On this side, okay? I have to tilt to this butt cheek and fall over this hip, which allows this leg to come free, and I can either be here for a strong positioning, or if I can reach around my partner, locking off my body triangle, okay? I'll show from a different angle. So let's say I'm on this side now, okay? I'll go right from the start. I get the underhook elevated. I try and wrap, try and shoulder drive to break the grip, but I just can't do it. So my underhooking arm becomes somewhat of an underhook and a crossface. My head shifts right across the center line. I'm not pushing forward here. I'm pushing across, and my left shoulder really drives in to the tricep here. I collect the arm under the chest, wedged in place. I pass off to my figure 4 head and arm. Now I start bringing my thigh under the head. You'll now see I'm mostly on my left butt cheek, okay? I don't want to just sit straight backwards from here and risk losing position. I want to now roll across to my other butt cheek and fall to my right side so that this top leg is completely unweighted. It can either go in for a hook, or if I can reach on my training partner, locking off the body triangle. And we've taken the back in a very dominant fashion.